Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boisterous coming to you with some Team League Tenacity out of the map, the Boneyard. Spying down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the team that consists of BCPermaFrost and his teammate TroubledBass. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the team of Achilles and SDBOI. SDBOI. I'm not sure. I don't know what TroubledBass is troubled about, but I'm troubled. Unless he's like going for some sort of pun on like treble bass, you know? Like maybe trebled bass. No, he's probably just a troubled bass. He probably had an issue with childhood. His entire family might have gotten killed by the evil carp. The evil carp crime bosses from Chinatown. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm not gonna theorize about what caused TroubledBass to be so troubled. So instead, I'm just going to look at Achilles building this pylon right at the front of the base. Now, of course, we have this drone scout going out at like 13 food, somewhere around there. And it's actually going to be scouting across the map first. That's kind of an interesting choice. It's not particularly the choice I would make personally, because it's just, I don't find it as that good of a choice. However, to each his own. And we have the SCV scout from BCPermaFrost doing the exact. Are they actually just cross scouting? What? Why? Is there no like north-south positions on this map? Even then, that wouldn't make that much sense. You're not really saving any time by going to that diagonal first. It doesn't really matter. I guess it really doesn't matter. It's just kind of a funny coincidence that they're both scouting the exact same pattern. However, it looks like the drone found their opponents first, primarily because their drone was sent out earlier, and it actually looks like SDBOI is going for somewhat of a fast expand, and so is TroubledBass. He's just, his hatchery was just, it was too troubled in its own. It wanted to get out of the house, it wanted to escape, and BCPermaFrost just warned him, being like, "Careful, watch for the cannon rush." Which is, of course, quite a smart advice. Whenever you're facing off against any sort of Protoss player, watching for cannon rushes is always a wise maneuver. It looks like our Terran player is now going for Reapers. I'm not quite sure why he's going for Reapers. I guess Reapers are really good at team fights. No, they're not. Reapers are, in general, units that aren't really that amazing anymore. So it's kind of interesting to see where they get played in. I mean, I know that I personally go Mass Reaper and 4v4s, but that's because I'm crazy. You never want to play a 4v4 with me. I will do the stupidest things ever. I will rush battle cruisers. I'll rush Reapers. I don't care. I'll do whatever. You can't tell me what to do. Who do you think you are? Anyway, this Reaper is going to be sweeping down, jumping down a cliff, jumping off a cliff, jumping up another cliff, and coming right for the worker line. He's going to be sniping away at some of the probes, getting 1 kill, maybe 2 kills. Manly Reaper. Looks like the probes are now preparing their like Skynet uprising. They really want to get him. Kadoink. I understand that we're trying to plot out the SEO, which all of you should go follow over at sc2clans.org. However, honestly, watching a replay, you should know what that means better than anybody. Anyway, it looks like these Zerglings are getting penned in by their Terran overlords. There's probably going to be quite a few experiments run on them, and TroubledBass, he just wants to scout. I don't understand why he wants to scout when there are Reapers, and that Reaper just got owned in the face by those Zerglings. Those Zerglings were like sitting up there with like their dinner knives out, and they're like, "Rah, here comes dinner," and then they nommed on that Reaper's face. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now you're all imagining Zerglings trying to use silverware. Yeah, but that's nice. Anyway, it looks like our Protoss player is getting a bit more defensive with these photon cannons, bumping himself on up to 3. Now, of course, our RTZ combination down here has yet to take their hidden third base, which is kind of interesting. as this base is, almost always the first one to be taken by whichever partner just doesn't care about the other one. He's like, wait, you want that base? Screw you, command center already building. If I cancel it, I lose a fourth of the resources. I can't cancel it. Who do you think I am? A pro? No, I'm building right here. And that's how most conversations in team games go. You'd be surprised. Anyway, it looks like TroubledBass is finally going for his second extractor. He's going to be teching his way on up. I'm not quite sure what tech he plans on going for yet. He has not yet really revealed that. It is at neither of his bases. I would expect to see some sort of like an infestor play, because honestly, infestors are really good, and they're really, really good if you use them with a proper teammate, like a Terran player or a Protoss player, or even another Zerg player. Infestors are just really good units, and you should build them all the time, especially if your opponent's going for something like, oh, he's going for Mutalisks too. He's just going for much later Mutalisks. And as we all know, Mutalisks that are later than other Mutalisks are typically at a disadvantage. They're not really the better Mutalisk in that situation. And it would appear that TroubledBass here is just kind of, he's sitting in the middle. He doesn't care. He does not care. And Achilles and his teammates, this game is moving along quite slowly at this point. It looks like the backdoor third has finally been taken for BCPermaFrost. I would expect to see some more action come out once these Mutalisks pop out, because of course Mutalisks are very fast moving units. They're very snipey units. They just fly in, they're like pow, and then like 9 SCVs die and they fly the hell away, because that's how Mutalisks roll. It looks like this cybernetics core is put on trial for treason, and he's just getting absolutely murdered by these zealots. Traitor cybernetics core. Wonder what he did. Well, that's a mystery. And now these zealots are just like, well, better fill into his position. I mean, he was the wall. Now we don't have a wall anymore. Better slap ourselves on into that role. It looks like the Marines are actually, or the Mutalisks, excuse me, are actually doing quite a bit of damage over here. Units lost. Ooh, 14, and those were all SCVs, I do believe. There might have been one Marauder in there. I don't know. I'm not good at math currently. And it looks like these Mutalisks are going to be swinging around again, sniping off one SCV, going right for that backdoor third, and sniping off plenty of other SCVs. I'd be surprised to not see him go for that mule, and he actually does not go for that mule. Kind of an interesting choice. It looks like the Spore Crawler is going to force these Mutalisks off, along with the Mutalisks coming out for TroubledBass already. And Mutalisk is kind of a hard word to say over and over again, because of those really, really rough S's in it. Indeed, indeed. Anyway, we have the Baneling Nest coming out for our purple Zerg player. Why can Protoss players never play purple? It's so much easier to say purple Protoss than purple Terran or purple Zerg. Because you have the double P, you got the little bit of alliteration there. It's pretty nice. It is pretty nice. Anyway, more Spore Crawlers are going down for TroubledBass. He really wants to protect his hidden expo, even though it hasn't actually been scouted at all. There we go. Yeah, it hasn't been scouted at all. However, it looks like these Mutalisks are flying in, being annoying again, and TroubledBass is sending his Mutas in. However, they didn't have a number advantage there because we were kind of sitting in the back, being like lazy kids at school, and they weren't really paying that much attention. But it looks like it's actually going to be like a 100% trade here. Maybe SDBOI is going to get the upper hand. And actually, no. The final surviving Mutalisk with 23 hit points. That was a complete waste for both players, and they really should have just started running. The drop from BCPermaFrost is landing in his opponent's back base. It's actually doing quite a bit of damage to those Zerglings. It's going to be sniping the main pylon, or the main Nexus, and that's the only source of resource collection for our Protoss players. So he's in kind of a bad position right now. The only thing he really has going for him is this massive ball of Zealots that is just, it's getting pretty scary. It's 1-1 with Charge, and Charge is a pretty good power up. Now Achilles, of course, has not built his base and is being revealed. However, it looks like he might just be going for the main base of his opponents. Now, of course, this decision would not be well put. It would not be the smartest decision. He's probably just going to get absolutely chopped at the gate. He actually is, and he's going to be running away. And it looks like TroubledBass is getting those Mutalisks up into the air. He's flying into his opponent's base. He's going to just be harassing him a little bit more, kicking this Protoss player while he is completely down and splayed on the floor. He's like, why, you cruel world? And he's just getting absolutely mauled by more Mutalisks. And here come the Mutalisks from SDBOI, and they're absolutely just going to murder the Cloud from our Blue Zerg player, because there was just so many more. Now, of course, TroubledBass is preparing his own Muta kill squad. However, SDBOI is a lot more formidable. The only real thing that SDBOI has against him is the fact that his teammate does not have base. Now, base is, of course, a pretty major thing in a game about resource, management and having base. However, it's not the end of the world. He's building this pylon. He's gonna get his Templar Archives powered again. It's okay. It's alright. He's not going to ask his teammate for resources, and actually he might have been. And SDBOI might have just been like one of those really dicky team members that you get occasionally that are just like, no, you killed yourself. It wasn't my lack of helping you defend. It was your poor positioning on where you put that base. That's right. Why did you spawn there? Why didn't you spawn across the map from the opponents? That was a poor choice, sir. And it looks like the move out from BCPermaFrost is going to encounter the charge lots, but then the charge lots are just going to have hold position on, so they're just going to run away. You see, if those charge lots had anything other than hold position on, they probably would have gotten this around and absolutely murdered the force from BCPermaFrost. However, that's not how things went. That's not how things were. Now, TroubledBass is getting plenty of Mutalisks, 5 more on the way. And if we look at SDBOI's, his Muta Cloud is actually formidably weaker than his opponent's. And the Mutas are going to be a major part of this next fight, because honestly, they're the only anti-air this team has other than this one Archon. I'm surprised he's not committing harder to these Mutalisks, because he's going to need to win the sky. He's going to need to win the sky to even think about pulling this off. It looks like the next suit is finally on its way back up. However, honestly, I'm not sure how they're going to survive through this next engagement, because these Mutalisks are just already on their way. The Balers are rolling up the ramp. Oh, they rolled right into the bunker, and the bunker was already on low health as it was. However, now there's just a massive engagement happening right here. It looks like these Zealots are going to be slicing and dicing through the Marines. The Muta Cloud is going just significantly to the favor of TroubledBass. It looks like the mineral line for TroubledBass is going to be getting wrecked. However, the engagement looks like it has gone strongly in the favor of our TZ people down here. The drop is preparing off for BCPermaFrost, and it looks like he's just prepared to abandon his base. These Mutalisks don't know what's going on, and they don't care what's going on. They're just going to be chilling. Mutas. There we go. Alright, looks like the drop is happening for BCPermaFrost, and he's going to be dropping right into the poorly placed Nexus of his opponent. I mean, why would you place a Nexus where you started the game? That doesn't make any sense to me. Please. You need to lift your Nexus off, move it somewhere else, and then put it down so that it's a nice hidden Nexus. Anyway, BCPermaFrost he's microing against those pylons. He's getting his stutter stepping up. Achilles is getting absolutely destroyed and absolutely wreckaged in the face. These Mutalisks are flying into their opponent's base, and TroubledBass is saying, even though I agreed through that, I lagged through that all thing, LOL, I'm surprised people. You shouldn't be. The real big thing is the fact that your opponent did not have enough Mutas to truly deal with that. Now, of course, he does have enough Mutas to truly deal with that, and you still have more. So you should be good. You should be feeling fairly confident about the rest of this game, BCPermaFrost and TroubledBass. I feel like your Mutas should be able to come out on top of this next engagement, especially considering the fact that you're getting +2 air. Actually, he already has +2 air. I don't know. This is getting kind of sketchy. Now, of course, you do have the Nexus and all that stuff, which Achilles does not have, and that's going to be pretty important. You have the definitive base advantage at this point in the game, and this is a spot where you can start feeling confident as a 2v2 team that you're going to win. Because really, if you have that base advantage and you have a slight tech advantage, you're far, far in the lead. Because if you think about like the advantage you get from tech or base advantages in a 1v1, just multiply that by 2 for a 2v2. Especially if you manage to like knock one of their players out, like they're doing currently with this Protoss player. Where this Protoss player can't do anything at this point. He's just getting absolutely murdered. And there, the catch, the transfer of the drones, now the running of the drones is getting absolutely horrifying for these drones as these Mutalisks are overhead and absolutely just slicing and dicing. And that's like the 4th time Achilles has gotten his pants ripped off his body. That's pretty bad. I mean, he's completely revealed. The entire world can see him, in fact. And it looks like the drop from BCPermaFrost goes up, and he's just going to absolutely clean up through their opponent's bases. And this is not looking good for our ZP team. Achilles, there he goes. They found his heel. They stabbed him in it like 4 different times, and he's done for the day. He's going to quit this game. And I would be surprised if SDBOI decided to stay much longer. He might rage a little bit about his teammate, because that's honestly what you do in this situation. You get very angry about your teammate. You say that they suck, and that you're like and that you hate them, and that like if you hadn't gotten them, then the situation would have been completely different. However, honestly, this BCPermaFrost is really good at micro. Wow, that was pretty impressive, and SDBOI's just dropping the GG. Man, so manner. So manner. When's he gonna leave though? There we go. Sweet. Anyway, guys, if you want any other Boisterous action, you can head on over to youtube.com/user/BoisterousSC2. If you want to follow me on Twitch and watch me play random games with friends, or go play stream the StarCraft Championship League, because that's kind of what I do, you can follow me over at twitch.tv/BoisterousSC2. Also, if you want any of your games, and I feel like I've already said that, but I'm going to say it again for good measure. If you want your games commentated, send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And before I start rambling, as I did in the last video, this is Boisterous, signing out.